I just want a clarification about slaughtering. About sacrifice.
Yeah. All right. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wa salatu wa salamu ala Rasulillahi wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in wa ba'd. At least one of y'all try to.
I hope that's not what I think.
You bringing up in cocaine up in this mess?
It's for you.
They did it for you.
It's sugar, man. It's
No,
it comes with a white powder. It's like we're gonna get blocked on YouTube now. It's like,
It's for you. It's for your
My-
eggs.
my eggs.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what it is. You put sugar on boiled eggs?
No, they're not.
Oh, that's sauce. Okay. I was like, what? It's like, dude, no, this is a bit out now, you know. Oh, tape, inshallah. Jazakallah khair. Tell it. Take the salt with you.
No.
Well, we can't be sitting there with no salt. Throw in the napkin.
Bring it here.
Put it in the window. Jazakallah khair, Obama. He said, I hope that's not what I think it is. Huh? We're not in the class time, inshallah, later, inshallah. Huh? Sound is good. All right. All right, so Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, wa salatu wa salamu ala Rasulillahi wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in wa ba'd. Qala al-Imam al-Bukhari, rahimahullah ta'ala, Faisal, welcome back. Ma ism al-Bukhari. Ibn? Come on, this is the easiest part. Ismail is the son of who? Is the son of who? No, Ibn Ibrahim. Come on, just like the Prophet. All right, Muhammad ibn Ismail ibn Ibrahim ibn Bukhari. Ibn Man? Saif. Ibn Mughira ibn Man. Or Dizba ibn Man? Al-Bukhari. Al-Jurfi. Al-Bukhari, yeah. All right. So قال الإمام البخاري رحمه الله باب لعن الله من لعن والديه. All right, so this is a chapter of what? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala curses whoever curses his parents. All right, حدثنا عمرو بن مرزوق قال أخبرنا شعبة ابن من. This is third time. Where is it? No, man. Where is the Qurat al-Ain? Where is the book now?
Oh, I don't know you want me to read it.
Yeah, you got to bring that with the class for the Isma Rijal. Yeah.
Okay, I'll bring it, inshallah.
Those now, what you're going to do is whenever we take these names like Shu'ba, Musaddad, and Sufyan al-Thawri, Sufyan ibn Uyayna, you find their names in that book. You keep a notebook, inshallah, and you write out their names, like their full names, their kunya, when they died, all of that information, because this is all important, especially with the Sufyanat. All right, قال أخبرنا شعبة عن القاسم ابن أبي بزة عن أبي طفيل رضي الله عنه قال سئل علي رضي الله عنه هل خصكم النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم بشيء لم يخص به الناس كافة قال ما خصنا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم بشيء لم يخص به الناس إلا ما في قراب سيفي ثم أخرج صحيفة فإذا فيها مكتوب لعن الله من ذبح لغير الله لعن الله من سرق منار الأرض لعن الله من لعن والديه لعن الله من آوى محدثان. All right, so here after the chain of narration goes back to Abi Tufail radiallahu anhu, and he said that Ali, he was asked, سئل علي radiallahu anhu هل خصكم النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم بشيء. Did the Prophet ﷺ give you like information or something, or tell you something that he didn't tell any of the other people? Kafatan, nobody else. قال ما خصنا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم بشيء لم يخص به الناس. And he said no, he didn't tell us anything like special that he didn't tell the other people, because it was knowledge, right? So the Prophet ﷺ, he never hid knowledge from the people. Anything that the people needed to know, he told them. All right, but he said, إِلَّا مَا فِي قِرَابِ السَّيْفِ. The qirab al-sayf, it means what? Al-ghumd al-sayf. It's a sheath, the sheath of a sword. So he said he didn't specify anything to us except for what you find in the sheath of my sword, because he had a piece of paper, and he pulled the paper out. And you just like lighting up bukhur all over the place, ain't you? Because it's Friday. Yeah. It's not now. It's Saturday. Akhi. It's Alan Layla to Sabt. But yeah. Hayakumullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So he said, "Illa ma fi qirabi sayfi." So only he said, "Thumma akhraja sahifa," and then he put out a piece of paper. He said, "Fa'idha fiha maktub," and he said, then you find it written on this piece of paper. Said, "La'an Allahu man dhabaha li ghayrillah." That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala curses whoever slaughters to other than Allah. So one of the practices now, what the people do is they slaughter to a wali from the awliya. They go to the grave and they slaughter, or the mushrikun, they used to slaughter to like asnam and they do this in Egypt. They slaughter at the graves.
They do grave worship in Egypt.
But do they go to the graves and like slaughter to the wali? Yeah, okay, but I mean some of the Sufi, you find them doing this. I personally have not seen this, but I have heard stories.
They do tawaf in Egypt around the grave. Sheikh al-Bazi spoke out against that. I know that. Sheikh al-Bazi spoke out against people in Egypt and in Sham. They do tawaf around graves. And you mentioned that shirk.
Yeah, I mean the Sufi, they turn the masjids into like dance halls.
Also, I have a question for you too around this hadith.
If anybody wants to see a funny video on YouTube, type in Sufis dancing in the masjid. Oh yes, you'll see some craziness. Just turn the volume off. Turn the volume off. Like keep it on mute and just watch. Go ahead.
من ذبح لغير الله هل اللام هنا لغير الله هل هذا لام التعليل؟
No.
واللام العاقبة. أو اللام العاقبة. نعم قد السيروت.
Don't ask me questions about Nahu after that pizza, man. You notice the time that I always attack you with Nahu is the class of Fajr. We just ate like these 2 huge pizzas. And he wants to go, look, man, let's keep it. I don't know. I'll go back and check it. Like right now, I'm just like, my mind just went blank. So, all right. So, لَعْنَ اللَّهُ مَنْ ذَبَحَ لِغَيْرِ اللَّهِ. It's not a lam ta'leel. And ظاهر والله أعلم. I mean, you can go back and check it. It's it's milk. Yeah.
Like بالله ما في السماوات وما في الأرض.
Wallahu a'lam. Go back and check it, inshallah. So, لَعْنَ اللَّهُ مَنْ ذَبَحَ لِغَيْرِ اللَّهِ. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala curses whoever slaughters to other than him. لَعْنَ اللَّهُ مَنْ سَرَقَ مَنَارَ الْأَرْضِ. And then you see in another narration, مَنْ غَيَّرَ مَنَارَ الْأَرْضِ. Alright, the manar al-ard is like people, whenever they buy land, they set up like a sign, or they put up something, either a fence, or maybe it's to this tree, or it's to something where they show that the boundaries of my land, it goes from here to this coffee stain, right, on the table, right? So from here to this coffee stain, this is my land. And then what happens is then you get one of these thieves who has the land next to yours, and what does he do? He changes it, and he changes the boundaries to make his land bigger and your land smaller. So what he's doing is actually by changing, he's stealing land from you, but he's doing it kind of like in a form of trickery, because he's changing the boundaries. So like right now, like between like me and my neighbor right now, we only have like a fence set up between us. The fence is collapsed. So my neighbor, there's no land there, right? There's nobody's on the house. It's just a plot of land. So what if I went and tried to, while nobody's looking in the middle of the night, and I moved the fence post like, 2 feet down just so I can get 2 more feet of land or something like that, which obviously I think here that's kind of difficult to do, right? It's not. You said no, absolutely not. So if I moved the fence post and everything where nobody would even notice, and I put everything back the way it was, so that's man ghayyar manar al-ard, or saraqa manar al-ard. So the manar itself, it means the alama that you put up to show like the hudud, or the boundaries of your land and the other.
They're still doing it in certain places in the Middle East, especially in Yemen.
Akhi,
You know,
they don't have to, like, they don't change the boundaries of the land in Yemen. They just take your land, akhi. They come with guns and, you know, like, by the way, this is land ain't yours no more. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Yeah. No, there's been families killed over land. I told you, like, I don't know if I told them the story. No, they were like, one day I came out of Jumu'ah, right? Just got home. I'm sitting down with my family. Y'all might have been too small to remember this. Asad wasn't even born. And as soon as we sit down to eat, there's just gunshots. Ba 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 ba. So I'm getting up. I tell the family, I said, get in the living room, you know. And I'm waiting, right, so once the gunshots stopped, I just ran out the door. I ran straight to the door. I threw the door open. I was like, yeah, there's a guy standing right out my door with an AK-47, and he's shooting at the neighbors, and they're shooting back at him, right? And I said, yeah, man, ish, fake. What's wrong with you, man? It's Jumu'ah. We're trying to eat lunch. Like, I'm yelling at him, and he's like, Afwan akhi. You know, it's like, walakinhum yaramuna alayya. You know, he's like, but they're shooting at me. I'm like, Tayyip, go down there and go shoot at them from down there. I said, what's the problem? And it was all over what? There was that land in front of our house. They said it's ours. He said it's my tribes. And they said they got in an argument, and then they started shooting back and forth. Right outside of the masjid, like my house, like this is my house. That's the masjid. All I got to do is I could walk to the masjid barefooted. And the land is right here between my house and the masjid.
It's who claimed it first.
Yeah. You know, Jam' al-Khair and Bi'r al-Ubayd in Sana'a. You don't know Suq Shumayla over that area? Where were you at in Sana'a?
I go Sana'a, but I don't go a lot of places.
Yeah. Now, what happened was in the end, the government took the land from both of them and turned it into a playground. So like right now, if you go there right now, you'll see there's a playground.
So it's not theirs.
No, it was, but
It's probably owned by the state, but they're just fighting for land that's not theirs.
Oh, the government takes more land than anybody else in Yemen. So. But
Wouldn't the government,
back in the old days, I mean, I don't know now. I don't know. Yeah.
if that was the case, wouldn't the government have to answer for that on the day of judgment? Wouldn't the government have to answer for that on Yawm al-Qiyamah?
What's that?
For taking land that's not theirs?
It's not the government itself. It's people. It's people. People that have authority, and the people fear them, so they use that authority in the wrong ways. It's not like the government saying, hey, go take that land. No, that's not what's going on. Like, you know, but it's people that have authority, they have military backing, they have a big tribe, and they want that land. And then they just, I mean, there's stories, but I wouldn't tell these stories on camera, man. Because I don't want the people to get a bad picture of Yemen, because Yemen is a beautiful country, but just like any problem. I mean, look at America, akhi. Yeah, huh? Nah, but see, the thing is like they were shooting. As soon as the shooting stopped, I stopped, I put the food down, and I walked outside. I didn't feel in danger. The guy is standing with the AK-47 pointed at the house in front of me. I didn't feel scared. I wouldn't do that in America. They're shooting out in the street, and I'm going to walk out the house and say, man, what's going on here? Because I know what's going to happen. I'm going to be the first victim. Like, who you? You know, so I ain't about to walk out. But that's what I'm saying. In Yemen, the guy even apologized. Imagine that, like he said, Asif, and he walked down. He walked down to the end of that little stretch, and he started shooting at them from there. You know?
The wrong one?
Huh? They're both wrong. What are you shooting in a residential neighborhood for? And that wasn't the only scenario, akhi. Oh boy. He's never been in Yemen, like deep in Yemen. He hasn't been deep, you know, where he stayed long enough probably to see all this type of stuff.
But I did hear bombs go off. I'm not gonna lie, I did hear bombs like almost every night in Yemen in Sana'a.
You went during the war.
No, I went in 2021.
That's during the war.
Oh.
The war is 2015 till now.
Oh, yeah.
The war never really stopped. I mean, they got these little peace treaties, but the war is still. You know, every time that they do something, Saudi will get angry. They'll come in and bomb them. So, so.
But I remember one time I did hear a bomb so loud that it shook like the whole neighborhood. In Sana'a, you just boom, and then you just hear like, but it was a huge bomb that went off. Allah, I don't know what it was. It was always at nighttime. Like in the daytime, nothing, no gunshots.
And even during the first part of the war, 2015, when the war started, they would be flying. You hear the planes flying over, and you hear the anti-air. We used to just walk and be like, "Oh, I gotta go get vegetables," and you just hear boom, boom, and everybody's just like, "Slowly go, like nobody's paying attention. All the stores are open. The only thing that they shut down the schools. The schools would remain closed, but all the supermarkets were open. Coffee shop was open. Like one day, the coffee shop, because they had a hudna on that one day. It's right at the beginning of the war. So I was like, oh man, finally I get to go use the internet because we have no electricity. And the coffee shop, they have a generator, so I can go there and get the Wi-Fi to find out what's going on. It's right at the beginning of the war because they said there's going to be a peace treaty for 5 days. You know how that goes. It lasts for like 5 minutes, right? But I didn't know. I'm still new at this stuff, right? And then so I get in the taxi and I go straight to the coffee shop. As soon as I open up the laptop, boom! I'm like, oh, time to go home. It's like, and everybody's just sitting there just drinking coffee, like nobody. Huh? No. It was a coffee shop right next to Shamela Hari on Sharat Hadda. I know you know Sharat Hadda, right?
Haraz.
Not what is it called though? It's
Haraz coffee, right?
Yeah, it's Harazi, yeah.
Haraz
But I can't remember the name. What's the name of the coffee shop, man? You got Shamela Hari right here, and this is right on the, what was the name? You know where the same street where the Jama Rais is, right?
Yeah, that's the biggest coffee, a big building.
Yeah, it's right to the left at the Jola.
That's the Haraz coffee.
But what was the original name of it? Coffee Trader. It was originally called Coffee Trader, yeah. I'm sorry, we're supposed to be learning Hadith and we're like reminiscing about Yemen, man. Yeah, I miss Yemen, man. I miss Yemen, man.
It's his fault.
No, it's in Yemen is in the heart, man. It's all of your fault. Like I'm kicking out all the Yemenis. Y'all gotta go. All the Yemenis have to leave the class right now because we're not gonna get nothing done today. Allah Mustaan. Now I gotta go home and make al-Sida. I got the Dhura at home, man. I got the Dhura. All right. Huh?
This is tahin, it's called Jeffy. It's good with azid.
What's that?
Tahin, you know the tahin to make the azid. The other one is Jeffy. It's like blue box. I think it's like $6.
Jiffy.
Jeffy. G-J-E-F-F-Y.
You talking about the cornbread?
Peanut butter. No. Tahin. I'll take a picture of it. Inshallah, I'll send you.
Nah, man, you make the al-Sida out of Dhura.
No, like in here in America.
Nah, even in America, akhi, I get the Dhura Bayda. You know the Dhura that they grow in Yemen, right?
Yeah.
That Dhura Bayda with the little black spot in the, yeah.
I'll get you.
I have like 5 kilos at home right now.
Yeah, but you know how to.
I don't have the Yemeni one, no. That Yemeni one, it tastes like silk, akhi. I never had something so never. I was in Damaj and I used to buy it from one of the guards of the Sheikh Mobil, rahimahullah. One of his guards, he has his own farm. So he used to grow the dhurra in the farm, and I used to buy it directly from him, fresh. And we used to grind it up. I could make the al-Sida and eat it with nothing. And it was delicious, akhi. It tastes like silk. I mean, like the way that because you know how you do it in Yemen. You don't grind the whole bag up. You grind it up like 5 pounds at a time, 10 pounds, Yeah. Huh? What's that? Yeah. And you want to find out how dangerous those guards are? Go up to the sheikh and put your hand in your jacket like that and find out. You know what happens when they do 4 takbirs on you? You don't know the 4 takbir thing? It's called a janazah. That's what's going to happen to you. You go up to them guards and you go sticking your hand in your jacket like you're about to do something to the sheikh. You go and disappear. You're going to evaporate. You're going to get shot so many times, your parents won't even know who you are anymore.
Are you talking about Sheikh Yahya?
Sheikh Yahya or Sheikh Mobil? Which one? They both have guards. Everybody has to have guards in Yemen.
Must be like some type of big building, right?
Yeah. Everybody knows Sheikh Mobil, right? Back in the days, yeah. And Sheikh Yahya is the same, but Sheikh Yahya is not in the north anymore. He's in Hadramaut. Allah yahfadhu. Allah yahfadh Shaykhana. ولا يحميه من كل هؤلاء الساد والمفسدين في الأرض. All right, so he said, لعن الله من سرق منار الأرض. لعن الله من لعن والديه. And then here he said, and Allah curse those who curse their parents. All right, so how does a person curse his parents? Because this came in a separate hadith. Does anybody know the hadith?
I know the shot.
Not sure, but
Because they ask, like, how, like, كيف الإنسان يلعن والديه?
تشتم أباك حتى الشتم هو
Yeah, so yeah, like, where one guy, where you insult one person's parents and then they insult your parents, you know, and this is you insulting your parents. So same thing, like, I mean, how would you, so if you go up to somebody and then you say, you know, may Allah curse your parents, I would be like, and then they get angry and they say, you know, they're saying back to you, right? So that's like you curse your own parents because you caused that to happen. Or even directly, you know, cursing. And we see that today amongst the kuffar. You know, we see that a lot with these like bratty kuffar kids. Yeah, Tommy and David and Stephen and all that, you know. Mommy, I hate you, and you know, and then they curse their parents and all types of stuff. So along this time. And cursing here obviously is, you know, saying, you know, may Allah curse them, not cursing. Because somebody might take a translation of this hadith and where it says cursing the parents and they say that you're like using profanity with your parents. Although that is from Uquq al-Walidain, but that's not what's referenced in the hadith. The reference in the hadith is like, you know, saying, you know, may Allah curse this person, you know, like that, you know. All right, or using the word, like the old school word, like what? Like the word damn, because damn is used as a curse originally in the English language. So when they say like, you know, God damn you, it means what? That is a curse. You know, that's the original meaning. Yeah.
You know, when you say sometimes you get mad and you say, oof, you know, you get so mad, you get so frustrated.
Well, the example I gave him the other day
He said,
was,
Allah said, don't even say that in front of your parents and say that in front of them. Oof, I'm so, you know, like, I'm so tired. Allah said, don't say that even because you're, you know, you're hurting your family, your parents. So even oof,
yeah.
that's
Yeah, and that's the smallest thing.
yes, that is the smallest
That's
thing.
I mean, it only gets worse after that, you know.
I just compared like, you know, honestly, going through, but he still got to do what he got to do, though, right?
What's that?
Like you said, like your son or daughter, you know, they try to talk back or like oof, whatever, right? But at the same time, the parent understand where that kid coming from, but it's like you still got to do what the parent.
No, man, you got to do the inkar on the munkar. Because if you don't discipline your child, then your child is going to go out and say that. He's going to be saying oof to his teachers, oof to the people in the streets, oof to everybody that he meets. And now that bad manners is going to spread all. And who's responsible for that? You, the parent. Nah, you don't that's the whole purpose of disciplining the children. You can't just sit there and say, oh, he's just a kid. Oh, he's just a kid. No, that kid, if he doesn't learn it from you and he doesn't get the correct manners from you, then he's going to go out and act a fool. But he thinks that then when the people in the street try to correct him, he's going to be like, well, my mother lets me do it. My father lets me do it. Huh?
I personally think I disrespect. Other than that, you know, like the B word or anything like that, that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole point. You got to teach them that.
Because my logic is like, but like in general, that's actually offensive term to call your parents. So yeah, that's why I'm
All right, and after that he said, وَلَعْنَ اللَّهُ مَنْ آوَى مُحْدِثًا. So awa here, it means to give refuge and protection to somebody. Muhdithan here, it means a person who has done something like some type of crime or something that's deserving of a punishment, and it's known that he's guilty, and the government's trying to get him. Now, first off, let's get this clear. This is for a Muslim and a Muslim government. All right, it's not permissible for you to house in a Muslim government, if a person does a crime amongst the Muslims and the Muslim police are looking for him, it's not permissible for you to hide him in your basement, hide him anywhere. You have to give him over to the police for the punishment. Muslim police. But we do not give a Muslim over to the kuffar. We do not give him over to the kuffar. No, because no. وَلَا يُسْلِمُهُ. We do not give the Muslim over to the kuffar. All right, but that doesn't mean that we go around and support criminals either. No. I mean, seriously. So, if the person is a criminal and the police are looking for him, it's like, hey, get away from me. I ain't got nothing to say. I didn't see you, and I don't want to see you. Get away from me. We're not going to turn them over. That's let the police do their job. But we're not gonna help them hide from the police either. You know what I'm saying? Because that gets you in trouble, that gets your family in trouble, that gets everybody in trouble. And again, Muslims, we don't support criminality. Now, if a person is different now, if the kuffar after somebody for something that's good, if he's a good brother and then they're falsely accusing him, and you know that it's not true, you know that it's a false accusation, and you're trying to protect him and everything until he can maybe get a good lawyer, get his situation straight, that's something different. But the actual that you know that he's a criminal, and the police are looking for him, no, we don't. Get away from him. I didn't see you, and I don't want to see you. What if it's a Muslim government, and we're in a Muslim government, and this person is causing fasad in a Muslim government? No, there's no such thing as snitching. That's amr bil ma'ruf wa nahy anil munkar. That's different because he's committing those types of acts in a Muslim land. It's not permissible for you to stay quiet. And you know that this person is selling drugs, you know that this person is doing in a Muslim country. But in the kuffar, amongst the kuffar, we go and we advise the brother. We'll talk to him and say, hey, akhi, this is haram, and try to get him to stop doing things, give him advice and things like that. But turn him over to the kuffar? No. We're not going to protect him. We're definitely not going to snitch on him. No. But now there's another issue. Oh, this is a good one. I like this issue because they love and we have to talk about this issue because these mukhabarat, they always love to bring up this issue right here, right? So if you know that a person's about to do like a terrorist act in America, what do?
You better make sure you stop them.
Call in, advise them.
All right, no, but I'm like, let's look at the possibility.
Knock them out.
You said stop him. How are you gonna stop him? Huh? Disarm him, like take his arms off? That's what I told you. I said it's time for somebody to practice their jujitsu, right? Because you can't detonate something with two broken arms. We're gonna disarm him. Yeah, disarm him. Yeah.
انصر اخاك ظالما او مظلوما. فهمنا ان المظلوم قد مظلوم يجب ان تنصره، ولكن قالوا كيف ننصره اذا كان ظالما؟ قال ان توقفه
تمنعه من
تمنعه من ظلمه. ايا كان ظلمه سواء كان هنا او هناك او في اي مكان، تمنعه من ظلمه لانه دينك يعلمك واخلاقك الاسلاميه تعلمك انه يجب انك تمنع المنكر.
Yeah, keep. So again, like I told you guys, but this was off camera, so nobody gets confused. It's not permissible for us to take the law into our own hands, right? So if a Muslim's drinking alcohol, we don't have the authority to take him and beat him and do things like that. If we know that a Muslim's beating his wife, it's not permissible for us to just go jump him and beat him down and all that. Why you keep beating the wife? But we try to keep him from doing that. If we have to hold him down and we have to get physical with him, but it's not permissible for us just to like beat him down. He's still a Muslim, and we're not the people of authority, so we don't have that type of authority. But if he's going to commit an act like that, where lives are going to be lost, and we only have two choices, we can give you over to the kuffar. Or we can not kill you, but we can put you in the hospital and give you some time to think about your life's direction. I would definitely go with the second option over the first option. Like really, really hurt him bad to the point where he's gonna have to spend a long time in the hospital where he can't move in a body cast, and we got time to give him advice where he has to listen. You know, that, yeah, better than the first option. You know. But for the protection of all the people that he was about to harm. And the protection of the Muslims that will be harmed because of the stupid thing that he did. So, you know, you got to outweigh. Yeah, because you got to weigh the options. What do we got?
But you still didn't kill him.
No, you don't kill it. You can't take a life. But just make sure that he's in the hospital long enough that by the time he gets out, he's like, you know what? Yeah, exactly. I don't want to try that again. You know what I'm saying? Like, how you doing, huh? You feeling trigger happy? No. You know, give him some PTSD or something. You know, get like a little, you know, cane or something, you know, and start, you know, like let him feel it. But it's better like, okay, look, you know, you're going to be in the hospital, but you're going to be free when you get out the hospital. And you've had time to think about it. Better than you sitting up in the jails of the kuffar for what, years and years and years and years and years, just rotting away.
But the thing, what if you can't? You can't hold him. He's
Let's just hope. We'll get it.
stronger than you, bigger than you.
Me, him, Abdul Malik, Uncle Robert, Ibrahim. We got this.
We got enough people. We got enough people over here.
Have his neck under my boot.
Yeah.
I'm calling the Popo, brother.
Nah. But no, I mean we gotta know. Hey, look, you saw the brother that was here that gave me that oil.
Yeah.
That's probably all we need right there, right? Yeah. I wouldn't want to make him angry. Allah yahfadhu. He used to be a professional boxer.
It's called Salahuddin.
Yeah, I mean Salahuddin used to be a mixed martial arts fighter. So Abdul Malik is just Abdul Malik, you know. And Robert over here is the bodybuilder Robert. So I'm pretty sure Robert's got his history of fighting. So, alhamdulillah, I think we got enough people.
We throw chairs.
Huh?
Throwing chairs.
Oh no, man, I'll be playing baseball on his knees, man.
You don't get it?
Huh?
Throwing chairs out the restaurant.
Oh, we'll turn his house up in the Waffle House, akhi. You're like, seriously, boy, you know, you wanna go do some stupid stuff like that? We're gonna attack you like we're like Waffle House employees, boy. Watch out. We'll be hitting them with pans and paint cans and. Yeah, but I mean, whatever it takes, akhi, because the whole point, we're not trying to like
Whatever it takes
to stop him from doing what he's doing without turning him over. Because once you put a person into that system, he might be a young kid, akhi. Most of these kids that do this stupid stuff, you don't need anybody here. Man, we could just say, hey, Abdul Malik, go beat him up or slap him around a few times. Most of these kids are like these little punk little kids that play Call of Duty all day long, and you know they sit there and yell at their mothers, you know, and they're like scared of everything, but then they want to get online and act like like a beast, you know. No, I mean these are not like the real types of dudes that are like a real threat, like they can like knock you from here to that wall. Those dudes ain't running around talking about doing this type of stuff.
I think we should form our own group, Jay.
Huh?
We should form our own.
I mean, we got brothers that do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It's like, hey, if you ever wanted to know what if, like, breaking the arm instead of, like, letting them tap out, guess what? Don't let them tap out. Because you can't do anything with two broken arms. That's what I said. Yeah, we're going to disarm them. But, I mean, whatever it takes. But like I said, I'm not a fan of that. Like, violence against a Muslim, never. But if it's that type of scenario, and I'm like, you know, well, but I'm against turning Muslims over to the kuffar. And if we can keep them from even, because once he does that act, what can we do now? Nothing. Now we got to get the backlash from it. All that's going to come to us. But if we can prevent it, And that's the only way that we can prevent it. Bismillah. Bismillah. But no cameras, no videotaping it. We're going to, you go in, you get out. Don't talk about it. This never happened. We'll go visit the dude in the hospital, bring him flowers and bring him candy and give him some advice. Well, he's our brother. He's on the wrong direction, and we just like put you back. Just like the doctor's gonna be fixing his bones, we fix his. We just set him back.
What happens if he's like sick? Like actually sick?
Like
Mentally?
sick?
Yeah.
Mentally?
Yeah, that's another thing.
Yeah, man, look, whatever you got to do at that time to keep him from doing that. You look at the level. You might not even have to use real violence. 5 dudes show up at the guy's house about to beat him down. He might go into like hyperventilation type mode, and probably have a heart attack and probably pass out before you even lay hands on him because he's so scared. Because he's probably just one of those little nerds that plays Dungeons and Dragons and, like I said, yells at his mother. Never been a fight.
But like, how big is this? I first said it's all what the illness is, I saw I had like visual, like close-hand experience. So like, what happens like this dude like he just
We're finished the hadith.
Like, Bulugh al-Maram.
he just
Huh.
fucked up.
Just so we clear, if you know someone's bipolar, schizophrenic, or have a mental problem, you can take him to the emergency room,
Yeah,
or you can take him to the mental health hospital.
yeah.
And you can tell the mental health hospital that he's having this symptom and that symptom and that symptom, and they will give him some ice cream, sedate him. They will keep him for 72 hours. If they determine that situation is more severe, they'll do that evaluation at that time. They'll keep him for 15 days, 45 days. They'll keep him until he comes into a normal state.
Yeah, we don't have to
And I think that's.
disarm
I
him.
think we need to know that because if you understand that the person is having a mental health crisis, calling the police is not gonna do any good.
It's gonna make it worse.
No.
Well, the
Here,
police just gonna call
the
the paramedic.
police
Hey,
do not have anybody trained in that field.
That's what I'm saying. It makes the situation worse.
They're just now
They
getting
do now.
somebody, yeah, they're just now getting one officer in our whole county that can make somebody 5150, whatever. 9 times out of 10, they're either gonna have to take them to the hospital or they're gonna have to take them to jail. But if we know the person and we know the person is having anxiety, having a panic attack, they're bipolar, schizophrenic.
Yeah, there's ways to
we
do
should
it.
help them. We need to tell
Yeah, we're not
them
gonna
they can't-
we're not gonna pay him a nightly visit. Where he wakes up and see 5 dudes in masks, be like, so you still want to do that? It's like.
And I'm saying that because most people don't know what's available for us to do. But you can put somebody in your car and drive them to the emergency room or drive them to one of the mental health sites, and we can always help each other. And that's available for us to do.
But if he's not mentally ill, and he's been listening to many anashid and he's all riled up, it's disarmament time. Yeah. No, don't even say that. Oh, what's up? There's a comment or a question or something? What?
يعني تقطع يعني مش تقطع بس يعني ترفع شوية من اللحية يعني تقصه وشيء كده.
Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Utruku liha, utruku, leave it. Don't touch it." You talking about like this part right here? Like here, because that's part of the hair. But the beard, it starts from here down all the way there. You don't take anything from that. Nothing. I don't know, because you're on Adab ibn Jozi, akhi. I'm on 975, 976. All right, 975, 976. No. Not even close. The hadith is an Abi Burda ibn Abi Musa and Abihi قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم لا نكاح إلا بولي. Right here.
Oh, okay.
Huh. If it's don't tell me it's about disarmament.
Is this one?
Which one are you at? Yeah, Abi Burda, yeah. What's up?
So the question is being a police officer haram for a Muslim?
Yes.
FBI agent or whatever?
All of that's haram. Because you have to take an oath to those kuffar. No, it's not permissible. Anything that you have to take an oath to serve and protect these kuffar, no. If we're going to serve and protect anybody, we serve and protect Muslims. And we do that for Allah. We don't do it for the state. We don't do it for the government. We don't do it for anything. We do that for Allah. On ايش؟ اخذ صور ايش؟ They know my opinion is haram. Because it's haram. It doesn't matter. Just because if I'm doing it because I'm trying to, for whatever reason I'm doing it, doesn't make it halal. No. All right, Tayyib. So yeah, we're on Hadith number 975, 976 in Bulugh al-Maram. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. قال الحافظ بن حجر رحمه الله. He said, when Abi Burda ibn Abi Musa. All right, so this is the Ibn Abi Musa, what?
Yaqub al-Zum'i.
No, that's Musa.
No.
This is Ibn Abi Musa.
Oh.
Abi Musa al-Ash'ari.
Oh,
Yeah.
Abi Musa al-Ash'ari.
Yeah, you got confused with the other guy, which is Musa. That's an Adab
I
al-Mufrad.
remember that one.
Yeah, Zum'i, yeah. All right, an Abi Musa an Abihi. So an Abihi, Abu Musa al-Ash'ari. رضي الله عنه قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم لا نكاح إلا بولي. رواه أحمد والأربعة وصححه ابن المديني والترمذي وابن حبان وعل بالإرسال. And the Sahih is the hadith is Sahih. It is authentic. Is very authentic. All right, this hadith is very authentic. This part of the hadith, لا نكاح إلا بولي, without the extra that he's going to add here, this is authentic. All right, but the next hadith where he said, so it says that there's no marriage without what? Without a wali. All right, so the woman has to have a wali. It doesn't matter if she has been married 15 times. If she has been married 15 times, she has to have al-wali. Because here, if you look at the hadith, the Prophet ﷺ said, La nikaha. La nikaha. And in the Arabic language, what is this? No, it's the la nafi al-jins. La nikaha. So you see it's mansoob. All right, it means la nafi al-jins. It means there's no form of nikah for anybody or anything without a wali. All right, so that all forms of marriage. And so it doesn't matter if she's old, young. She could be 55 years old and she's been married to half the block.
She has to have a guardian.
She has to get married. Now,
Hold on, he just said married to half the block.
if she's been married to half the block.
Dang.
I mean, it's just an exaggeration just to show that it doesn't matter how many times she's been married or how old she is, she still has to have a wali. Now, as far as the idhn is concerned, no, she doesn't need the permission of the wali to get married, but she has to be married to a wali. So like, for example, if she has not been married before, okay, and then you go to the father, and he's the wali, and he says, no, I don't want you to marry my daughter. What are you going to do? It's over, done. But now, a woman who's been married before, it's up to her. He can't stop her from marrying, but she has to have al-wali. It can't, but she doesn't require his permission, but he has to be the wali.
So if it's the first time that's the virgin, she ain't got a choice, and he ain't got a choice.
I mean, he can marry her without her permission, but she has the right to reject it. If she does not want to marry the man and she knows that she's not going to give him the rights,
If she a virgin?
if she's a virgin.
So then her father don't have the right, he can't marry her off if he wants to?
No, he can.
He can't marry her off.
Yeah.
But he can't make her be married.
Oh, okay.
So in other
No,
words,
I'm saying
He can marry her off, so she don't have to stay with him.
No, I'm saying if she's a virgin, the father can. If she's a virgin, the father can marry her off. And he can marry her. He marries her without her permission, but she has the right to reject it. So, yeah, she has the right to accept it or to reject it. But you know, yeah. But I mean, yeah. No, if she's a virgin, you know. But if she's been married before, then the idhn is from her. The permission is from her, but she has to have a wali. All right, but the permission is like, because at that point, anyways, I mean, if a woman's been married 2 or 3 times, you think the wali's gonna be like, no, I'm saving her for somebody else. He's like, man, yeah, marry her, get her out of my house. You know, it's like, you know, khalas, you know. So most of the times he's not gonna be standing in the way. He's gonna stand in the way of that first one, daddy's little girl, and he's gonna try to make sure that he marries his daughter to the, you know, to somebody who's gonna take care of her.
It can be anybody if her father.
Well, we're going to get to that in a second, inshallah. We're going to get to all of that in a second. Y'all jumping too far, right? Let's just get the hadith read, and then we got all these issues to go over, so don't worry. All right, so the second hadith, which is وروى Imam Ahmad عن الحسن عن عمران بن حسين مرفوعا لا نكاح إلا بولي وشاهدين. Now this hadith is da'if, and even Imam Ahmad himself, who narrated this hadith. All right, first off, exactly, that hadith is not even in this book, because in the original Makhtutayn, in the original 2 manuscripts of Bulugh al-Maram, this hadith is not even in the book. They only put it later into certain copies of Bulugh al-Maram, so that's probably why it's not even in your book. And if I've seen even in other explanations, where some explanations it was in the book, and some explanations it wasn't in the book, and for the explanations that it was in the book, they said that it wasn't in the original manuscripts of Bulugh al-Maram. So that's number 1. Number 2, it says that Imam Ahmad narrated the hadith on Imran ibn Hussein, which is not true. Imam Ahmad did not narrate this hadith in the Musnad of Imam Ahmad and Imran ibn Hussein. So strike 2. The third strike is that Imam Ahmad, he himself said that there's nothing, la yathbut shay fi shahada. All right, for shahada, it means that you have to have witnesses for the marriage. He said there's nothing authentic. And Imam Ahmad is just one of the people who said that. One of them, Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah, Ibn Abdul Barr, that there's no witnesses. You don't need any witnesses. The witnesses are not a condition. These hadiths, this hadith that with like right here, the hadith, la nikaha illa biwali, that's authentic. The ziyada wa shahidai adl or shahidain, or any of these different narrations that they bring as the extra, that ziyada is weak. And it's not just weak, it's like shadid al-dha'f. You know, there are people in the chains of narration, they have different turuq, and there's, all right, now, if we talked about this before, if there's different, like turuq, different chains of narrations of the hadith, and each chain of narration, there's dha'f, but it's like, you know, there's weakness in the chain, but it's something small. This guy, he's, yukhti, this guy, sayy al-hifth, this guy, you know, this small things, right? But then when you get, you know, guys in the chains of narration, you got 5, 6 different chains. He's munkar al-hadith, he's a kadab, and this is what the chains of narrations look like for this narration, where it's like shadid al-dha'f, you know, where, you know, even Sheikh Yahya, Allah yahfadhu, when he was teaching al-Muntaqa ibn al-Jarud, he was talking about this hadith specifically. And he said the chains of narration, and if, you know, he said it's too much. It's like it's too much. Like to go over each chain and tell you every single ilal, like all the ilal and all the problems with each chain, it's just so much. So he said you'll be here for days. Like we'd have to like spend 2 or 3 classes just going over all the weaknesses of the chains of narration. So la yathbut fihi shay. All right, and that's specifically what Sheikh Yahya said. If I have it here, he said, "Al-hadith la nikaha illa wali wa shahidai adl. Kullu turuq al-hadith ma'a ziyada la tathbut. Fiha shay'un. Kull al-isnad fihi man huwa shadid al-dha'f wa ba'd al-kadhabin." That's exactly what Sheikh Yahya said. So he said, in all the chains and narrations of the hadith, with that ziyada, la tathbut. No, none of them are correct. None of them are authentic. Fiha shay', nothing. Kull al-isnad fihi man huwa shadid al-dha'f. Some of the, like all of the chains, they have somebody who is very severely weak. or وَبَعْضَ الْكَذَّابِينَ, and some people that were known for just making up hadiths, for making them up. So we know if anything like that. And he also mentioned قال الإمام أحمد لم يثبت في الشهادة شيء. That's what I just told you. All right, Imam Ahmed said anything in regards to, like, there's no hadith that's authentic about witnesses, about their needing to be witnesses. قال ابن المنذر في الحديث الشهادة لا يصح. قال الشيخ الإسلام ابن تيمية إذا كانت النكاح بحضرة المسلمين ولو بحضرة الفاسقين بحضرة المسلمين ولو بحضرة الفاسقين صح النكاح ولو لم يكن بحضرة الشهود صح النكاح. So even he said, even if there's no witnesses, the marriage is correct. Even if the two witnesses that you bring are fasiqain, because some of the people stipulate shahidei adl. No, the hamal shay is the wali. No, the wali and the person getting married. That's it. That's the only thing that's absolutely necessary as a condition for the marriage. Now, for the people, because somebody put this comment, because we started talking about something yesterday, and I don't think we either, not yesterday, I'm saying the day before yesterday, and we didn't complete it, and then somebody wrote in the comments, they said, I'm sorry, I didn't understand this. Because somebody had asked a question about if the man, like the wali, is in one country, and I think I explained this actually, but just so to be clear to the people, is that because I told you, it said if you're not in the same country, you can get married over like a video call or even over the phone. But you have to have somebody that knows the voice of the person and can confirm that is him for sure. There's no doubt. And in this case, I would say make sure that you have witnesses from both ends. You have witnesses because this is a very sketchy way of getting married. No, it's something that should be avoided. Sheikh Mubaz spoke about it.
Because, people started doing that, and some sheikh said this is...
Yeah, because the people started to abuse it. But if it's done correctly and there's no other way, and they want... But the thing is if you're in another country, the girl is in another country, what's the rush to get married right now anyways? Just wait till you get to her and marry her. But maybe he wants to marry her so he can have her come to him. If that's the case, then that's fine, but as long as she travels with a mahram. Because obviously the woman, she can't travel alone without a mahram. But as long as those conditions are fulfilled. But if it's something that's an absolute necessity, none of the ulama said that, not that I know. I'm not saying none of them did. I'm just saying, even Sheikh bin Baz, he wasn't exactly for it, but he didn't say it's haram and you can't do it. And none of the other ulama that I read their fatwa on this section with the situation. They didn't say it's haram or you can't do it. So, but the thing is, it's real, especially nowadays with all this AI stuff and the way that the things that they could do with video, and you gotta really make sure that like plan that beforehand. Make sure if you're on a video call, make sure the people know him, know the person. And I always say at that point, have witnesses to see it, because obviously the man's gonna send his daughter. If he's going, that was the plan, to send his daughter with her brother or somebody or some other mahram to go to be with this man, and you want to make sure that everything is legit. But honestly, patience is probably the best. But sometimes situations are different. All right, so that's the next thing, huh? You got another question? Well, what is? We haven't even gotten started yet.
So, in the Quran it says to marry your young to your young, and it mentions when you make a contract, take the witnesses and write it down.
That's for a bear. That's for selling and trade.
That's for selling and trade.
Yeah, that's not for marriage.
That's negated for marriage.
There's nothing authentic showing that it's for marriage, but in trade, yes. Or borrowing money and trading. Yeah, if I borrow money from you or something like that to have witnesses in trade and business and commerce and things like that, yes, that's what that's for. And as far as the issue of the wali, where is that mentioned in the Quran? Where is it? What's the ayah? I know. I want the ayah. I don't want I know it's in the Quran. فَانْكِحُوهُنَّ No. You're just making up. فَانْكِحُوهُنَّ بِإِذْنِ أَهْلِهِنَّ.
Oh, so you said wedding.
That's sort of Baqarah.
No, that's sort of.
No, I didn't say the word wali.
Oh, no.
I'm just saying that the issue of the walaya and the wujub of the walaya,
I
yeah.
read it yesterday too.
فَانْكِحُوهُنَّ بِإِذْنِ أَهْلِهِنَّ وَآتُوهُنَّ what? أُجُورَهُنَّ.
Oh, I can't.
فَانْكِحُوهُنَّ بِإِذْنِ أَهْلِهِنَّ وَآتُوهُنَّ أُجُورَهُنَّ بالمعروف. بالمعروف؟ نعم بالمعروف. Yeah. So you marry them with the permission of their what? With their family. Well, that goes back to the wali, and then yeah. So this is the ayah which shows the wali is a necessity. And فَانْكِحُوهُنَّ بِإِذْنِ أَهْلِهِنَّ. All right, bil ma'ruf. So the ma'ruf here goes back to giving them to the mahar, or the dowry that is standard amongst the women of that area, bil ma'ruf. So whatever is general amongst the women, and whatever is acceptable for the women in that area, that's what you give them. Yes. All right. And then after that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, muhsanatin, غير مسافحات, ولا متخذات أخدان. So what is this? Muhsanat? What? Chaste women. Women who have not committed fornication. غير مسافحات. Well, all right, so you have musafihatin ولا متخذات أخدان. What's the difference between the two? Musafihati is the woman who's just like, no, she's a fornicating woman who anybody that wants to go. Like she just like open 24/7. Yeah. Anybody, whatever, go. The muttakhidati akhdan is the fornicating woman, but she only fornicates with one man. One man. He takhus wahid. Like a boyfriend, that type of thing. So she's fornicating, but she's only fornicating with that one person. Yeah. You can't marry any of these. It's not permissible. It's not a valid marriage. What's that? No, it's talking about a woman who only fornicates with one man. Just like a girl, she has a boyfriend, and she's been with this boy for years, and she says, oh, I'm faithful to my boyfriend. But she's fornicating with him, right? Are they married? So she's muttakhidati akhdan.
I was saying,
Yeah. No, but you had the women in Jahiliyyah. They had certain curtains or certain doors or certain colors, and it was basically like whoever goes in, they just do whatever they want with her and leave. Yeah. Even if whoever's there, first come, first serve, basically.
He asked right now, what if she fornicated before she became a Muslim?
No, Islam, everything's forgiven. Islam is the person's tawbah from all that stuff. Because when a person accepts Islam, they're accepting that all of these things, accepting La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. No. But if they commit fornication again, then it does count. Because Islam, it wipes away everything that the person did before Islam, as long as they don't continue to do those actions into Islam. But if they continue doing it into Islam, then they're going to be held accountable for everything. If they continue doing them, yes.
Brother was married her, and he assuming she's a virgin, right? Like, how would that go about?
Well, once he finds out that you assume that she's a virgin. I mean, obviously you're going to find that out the first night that she's lying, unless you're really stupid. So unless you're really, really stupid, you're like. But Allahumma musta'an. If you find out this, but see, the thing about it is like a woman can lose her virginity from things other than sexual relations. She could have been standing up on a post and fell on a post and busted tore her, private parts. Women that ride horses a lot, where they're slamming on a horse a lot, it causes them to also lose their virginity. So there's other ways that you can't just jump up to conclusions and say that she's a fornicator.
So
Yeah.
if that was the case for a Muslim, you can't just assume that.
In America, I would just assume. But I mean, overseas, it's probably, you gotta, especially if you get like a righteous woman and you find out that you're gonna have to like do some investigation. I mean, that's hard, akhi. May Allah, I hope Allah never tests us with that situation. But it's a difficult situation because it's like, who do you believe? But then if you know from her background that she's like, for example, like she rides horses, or maybe her father even testifies to the fact that, yeah, when she was like 14 years old, she was standing on a fence and she fell and fell on the post or something like that, and it busted that area. It's happened. It happens. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
She does martial arts, she's playing and doing something like that.
Martial arts.
Anything, yeah, true, brother.
Hey, I knew it.
she might have been kicked in those areas, like
It could happen.
Pinchak Silat, man, something, who knows?
Slip in those slits and tear. Yeah, they can tear down.
Terrorists, yeah.
Or just being kicked a lot in those areas,
Even kicking them out, even kicking the bag and stuff.
So I mean, you gotta like, you can't just because she's lost that virginity, you can't just jump up to conclusions and just start accusing her for no, you can't do that.
Well, losing the virginity and the hymen being broken is not the same thing.
No, I'm talking about the hymen being broken,
Yeah.
where you think,
Yeah,
I mean, losing her virginity
yeah.
is that she slept with another man, but we're talking about because what you would think is when you saw the hymen being broken, you'd be like, you lying, you're gonna jump up and start swinging on somebody, calling up her father, cursing him out, and but then you find out later, oh, I didn't know you rode horses. Oh, I didn't know that you fell off. I didn't know you did kung fu in China for 15 years, Tai Chi or whatever, something. I mean, you go to like in Indonesia, Malaysia, a lot of the girls, they do that, the Pencak Silat, they do it. So
Even
Thailand.
the ones that are still washing clothes by hand by the river, they can slip and tear.
Yeah.
There's so many things that can tear.
Yeah. I mean, you got those women that work in the fields. There's so many ways that it can happen. So you can't jump to those types of conclusions. I mean, look, man, you have to put your trust in Allah. The most important thing with marriage and anything that you do is to pray istikhara first, akhi. Don't just make the decision on your own. Put the decision, send put Allah, how can I say this? Like, put your affairs with Allah, akhi. You make, just like any big decision that you do, marriage and anything, moving from state to state or job to job or anything that's going to affect your life, pray istikhara first. And put your trust in Allah and khalas. And if something like that happens, don't be quick to, step back and just say, well, maybe it's not what I think it is. And start just, put your pants back on and investigate, and don't get angry. Don't jump to conclusions because you might make a fool of yourself and then realize later on that you were wrong. And then now you've destroyed the marriage, you've destroyed the relationship with the girl's father, now you blame them with something, and now you've done something way worse, which is from the akbar al-kaba'ir, is the qadhaf al-muhsanat and al-ghafilat, where this woman, she's protected her chastity, and you're the first man, and then you go and accuse her of fornication, akhi, because of something happened to her when she was a kid. You got to be careful with this type of stuff. We have to be very, very, very careful. You remember when the Prophet ﷺ mentioned to the Sahabi who had the beautiful voice? You remember? It wasn't Abu Musa al-Ash'ari, but he was reciting the Quran, and the women were getting affected. And he said, look up the Sahabi, but I'll give you the hadith where the Prophet ﷺ said, he said, rifqan bil qawarir. He said, be soft with the glass bottles. And he's talking about the women because he was.
He told that to Bilal.
It wasn't Bilal. Look it up. No, it wasn't Bilal. It was one of the Sahabi who was reciting Quran, and the women were, I don't know if it was Quran or poetry.
He said
Rifqan bil qawarir.
They were riding, and he was what he was doing. Allah wrote up something like, our women is with us,
Yeah, you're doing too much, and they're getting too affected by it. The women are doing like this, and hold on.
The Prophet was in a وكان غلام يحدو وكان غلام يحدو بهن يقال له أنجش.
Anjasha, yeah. Yeah. Because that's what he said. He said, "Rifqan bil qawarir, yeah, anjasha." Yeah, that's right.
قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم رويدك يا أنجشة سوقك بالقوارير
No,
في هذا.
no, there's the different wordings of the hadith. But that's what he told him to stop it, because rifqan bil qawarir, but the point is of the hadith is that the Prophet ﷺ compared the ladies to what? A qawarir, like glass bottles. They're fragile. So now imagine, like this is the Prophet ﷺ mentioned in the fragility of the female. Now imagine you taking a girl who's getting married for the first time and you jump up and start accusing her of fornication and that's crazy. So now I mean that would destroy that girl's life, akhi. You understand? Like she will never want to be in a room with another man ever again. So whenever you get into those types of situations, man, use hikmah. Use hikmah, man. Don't do something that you're gonna regret and then you end up destroying her life.
Because even if she gets clear of that situation, she's still gonna carry the stigma of that's the girl who went through that whole horrible situation. So it's sustained.
And then just to find out later that it had nothing to do, because the people don't remember the final outcome. The people remember the drama. That's what they remember, and that destroys her life. And we don't do that. We don't do that with our Muslim sisters. We don't do that with anybody. So.
Someone asked, you think, Ustad, I hope that you are doing well and in the best of Iman, inshallah.
I'm in the best of places, alhamdulillah, at least in America. In the masjid with the brothers and going over hadith. I mean, it can't get better than this, unless we're in Mecca, so in Medina.
I had a question and wanted to know if I could get your help and advice on the matter. I wanted to know if a person can use someone's riba purchase vehicle for Uber with the condition that he pays a monthly rental usage. And then Uber...
I saw this question and I forgot about it, so it's a good thing that I guess he reminded me. No.
No?
Especially if you know that that he's got the car on riba, no. Because it's a ta'awan bil ithmi wal udwan. You know it, and you stay away from it. You know.
I got a question. So you do someone charity, right? And they put in the top box. Is that permissible?
You give somebody charity, and they give it in charity.
Yeah.
What's the problem? The Prophet ﷺ gave Omar, and Omar gave the people. So I mean, if you don't have a need for it, you give it to somebody that has a need for it. Yeah.
This is a good question. How often did the Prophet ﷺ have a full stomach?
How often?
Oh.
Very, very little. I mean, I don't know how often. Like, if you want me to how many days of the week or what?
Like a general statement. Like once a week, twice a week.
I don't know specific, but I mean, they.
There's only a few hadith.
No, I mean, they said that.
Rasulullah said that.
No, I mean,
Eaten like this or.
no, he's talking about the hadith in Bukhari and Muslim, where Aisha radiallahu anha, she narrated that they never ما شبع محمد ولا آل محمد من طعام بر ثلاثة أيام or something, like 3 days in a row or 2 days in a row. There's different narrations, but they would eat, they would eat and then they wouldn't eat, But as far as being full was not a common thing, because you got to understand, even with the hadith, it's not exactly the best hadith. There's kalam as far as the authenticity of the hadith. But the thuluth al-ta'am wa thuluth al-sharab wa thuluth al-hawa, so you have 1/3 for food, 1/3 for drink, and 1/3 for just to breathe, because you notice that when you eat too much, you have difficulty breathing. You can't even, and then you drink water and the water's got no place, and then you just feel like this water gushing around in the top of your stomach and it doesn't feel good, So even if the hadith has got some type of kalam on it as far as being authentic, and there's ikhtilaf, but it's definitely true as far as, if the person, if he's going to eat, then this is the way that you should eat, So to keep those 1/3 for food, 1/3 for drink. But back to the wali now. I don't think we're going to finish this issue today, and I don't think my kids are getting ice cream either.
Oh, it's really good.
Huh?
We gotta get at least
No, but that
save
means
some
you're going to have to take us way out to get the ice cream.
ice
Because the food max is going to be closed at 10, so it's already 9:30. Y'all happy now?
You can still get ice cream. There's a supermarket. I can get like food for less. They close at 12.
No, I take the long way, bro. I thought it was long.
Now he wants to go like to the outer skirts of Fresno, you know.
Baskin Robbins?
Oh, no, man. What did I tell you? Every single Friday, I get a visit from two friends.
I know exactly who they are by name. I know them by name.
Yeah, my friend Ben and my friend Jerry. They visit me every Friday, and they destroy my life on Saturdays. Who?
هو قال هل هو ده يعني يقدرون انهم يكلمون اي اخوات في السوشيال ميديا للزواج؟
What?
واحد
Can they
سأل
talk to sisters online for
No.
marriage?
No.
If you want to marry a sister, you write her a message and say, can you please send me your father's phone number because I want to get married. End of message. No smiley faces, no heart emojis, none of that foolishness. I'm interested in getting married. Can you please send me your father, brother, whoever your wali's phone number is?
After he gives permission, does it mean now you have the right to start talking to the
No, you
sister
still don't, yeah.
messenger? You still talk to the wali until she becomes
Yeah.
your wife.
Yes. All right. Huh.
قال إذا في هذا زي كوزن أو ابن عم يكون الولي
What's that?
شو بالإنجليزي أنا ما أقدر أترجم مثلا واحد بعد أخوه
هذا أو هذا؟
لحظة أول شيء هذا
What if, okay. We're not going to answer questions that we already answered.
But going back to the issue of the wali. So, is, huh?
It says, for one person, is keeping ties of kinship mandatory for everyone who may be related to you, even if it is very extended, or is it only for the mahram?
No, bil ma'ruf. Whatever the customs are. I mean, you got like some fifth cousin, 10th cousin or something in a whole other state. No, I mean, it's just the closest relatives. All right. And as far as the issue of the wali, all right, so the hadith about some of one of the hadiths that the people will confuse, it says, أَثَيِّبُ أَحَقُّ بِنَفْسِهَا. And this is a statement of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. أَثَيِّبُ what? أَحَقُّ بِنَفْسِهَا. Now, does that mean that the thayyib is the woman who what? Has been married before. All right, the woman who's been married before is called a thayyib. All right, a thayyib أَحَقُّ بِنَفْسِهَا. That means she has the more right to herself than anybody else. Does that mean that she has the right to act as a wali on her own behalf? That she doesn't need a wali? No, but this means بِإِذْنِهَا. That means she is a haqqu بِنَفْسِهَا. That means she has the right to choose who she wants to get married and who she doesn't want to get married to. But she still has to have al-wali because of the hadith, la nikah illa bi wali. That's la nikah, any nikah. And it doesn't, and for somebody to come and say, oh no, that's just for the women who are getting married for the first time. Hatu burhanakum in kuntum sadiqeen. You know, bring your evidence if you're from the truthful. That's not what the hadith said. Just call me Abu Saif. I am so tired of this sheikh stuff, man.
I have a feeling you would go off.
I'm like, I've been biting my knuckles this whole time. Yeah, Abu Saif. That's safe. This is Abu Hu. I mean, what bucket?
What if she doesn't have any wali? I'm just saying.
We're gonna get to all that in a second, inshallah. But no more questions. This better be very important.
Yes, it's about Sheikh Mufrad. Ustad, what is the best advice and profound tips Sheikh Muqbil gave you while you were in Yemen that stood with you till now?
I didn't study, everybody, I did not study with Sheikh Muqbil. I was in Damaj in the time of Sheikh Muqbil. Sheikh Muqbil was sick. He wasn't teaching at the time. He was in Saudi Arabia getting ilaj. The things that I heard from, and I quote from Sheikh Mubah, I quote from brothers who sat with Sheikh Mubah. I was there in the lifetime of Sheikh Mubah, but Sheikh Mubah was not there. The only time that I sat in the class with Sheikh Mubah was when he called us before he died. He called the masjid, and they put him on the phone, and you can find this lecture online, whereas the Sheikh Mubah was his last time that he did the class in Damaj, and he called up all the major students, all the big students, to ask them questions. And I was there for that, but that was over the phone.
Did you guys like have it? Did he say this is the last class ever?
No, but we kind of, he was sick, and after that he went to Germany for treatment. And then he came back from Germany, and he was in a coma in Germany, and he didn't know when he woke up out of the coma. He didn't know where he was at. So when they asked him, when he woke up and he said, "Where am I?" They said, "You're in Germany." He said, No. So I'm not going to die in the kuffar. He said, "Go call the doctor." So he just came out of a coma. You understand? He was in coma for days. He jumps up, he puts on his stove, he puts on his zimama, he gets everything ready, straightens up his stove. The doctor comes in, and he said, "I'm ready to go." They're translating for him, because he obviously doesn't speak English. And they're German, so they're not, they speak English, but they don't like to speak English, but they speak English. So he had somebody translate. He said, "Tell him I'm ready. I want to go." The doctor was like, "This is amazing. I've never seen anything like this." He said, "Yep." So they signed. He said, "Okay, I'll sign the paper so you can go." He said as soon as the doctor walked out, he collapsed. And then they got him on the plane. He went back to Sardinia, and that's where he died. So I was in Damascus the whole time. So at that time, he wasn't teaching. And if I have to give, what was the question about beautiful advice? Yeah, if I had to give all my advice, I was there from the time that Sheikh Yahya took the chair. From the very beginning that he took the chair. And if I had to sit here and give what's the best advice and that Sheikh Yahya gave us, I would be talking from here until the day I die. If I were to live 20, 30 years, I couldn't tell you everything that he told us. Everything that he used to advise us every single day on the things, everything that he saw, he would give advice. Every hadith, he would give advice, and he still does the same thing. So, if you read Sahih Bukhari, first off, you read the Quran. That's the most important thing. You read the Quran with tafsir, you read Bukhari, you read Muslim, you read Fath al-Bari, you read the Sharh Sahih Muslim, the Imam al-Nawawi. That will give you an idea of the type of advice that we used to get every single day. Just reading all those books of Ahl al-Ilm, because that's where his advice used to come from. So, advice from seeking knowledge. Ibn Abdul Barr, he wrote the book Al-Jami' Bayan al-Ilmi wa Fadlihi. You start reading it yet?
Of course.
All right, that's the advice. That's the advice that we used to hear all the time. So alhamdulillah. Wallahi, that's a ni'mah. Wallahi, I'll never ever be able to thank Allah for. All right, so so as far as the tayyibu haqqu bi nafsiha, هذا في الإذن وليس في الولاية. All right, that's in permission, not in, not in her being not needing a wali. As far as a woman who gets married in one of these marriages where she does not have maybe the wali wasn't right, or she bypassed the wali, because first off, who's the wali?
The father.
The father. Now, if the father fulfills all the conditions of a wali, now let's look at the conditions, right? According to Al-Maqdisi, Ibn Qudama, these are his conditions. Now, I'm not going to sit here and agree with all of them, but I will give you the 8 conditions that he gave for the wali, and then we'll go over the ones that are they're not 8, so let's just say that. He gave 8, but they're not 8 conditions. So, condition number 1, he has to have what? He has to have aql. If he's crazy, if he's majnoon, if he's anything like that, or something's affecting his mind, maybe he drinks and his mind is not. So in this case, then no, he cannot. It doesn't need to be. It depends on the religion of the girl. That's going to come later. So the aql is number 1. Now, if the father is not in the right state of mind, and her grandfather is alive, and he's a Muslim, and she's a Muslimah, then does that mean that you go to the brother, or do you go to somebody else? You go to the grandfather. Or if the grandfather's not alive or he's also crazy and the great grandfather's alive, then you go to the great grandfather. It doesn't matter you can keep going up and up and up until you find a person who's still alive with an aql. But inshallah, that's a very, very, very strange scenario. You know, if you go and the woman's father is crazy, her grandfather's crazy, and her great grandfather's crazy, I'm gonna find another wife. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm cool because what's wrong with you? And I'm done. Yeah, you know. So the father maybe. Yeah. All right, that's number one, al-aql. Number two, al-hurriya. That means that the man has to be what? He's free. Like her father can't be in slavery or something. That's not even applicable today. All right, al-dhukuriya. What? Got to be a male. It doesn't have to be a man. It didn't say al-rujuliya, but it said al-dhukuriya. It has to be a male. But the next thing, al-balugh. He has to have reached the age of puberty. So you cannot take your 6-year-old brother and say, he's my wali, or your 6-year-old son, and you say, he's my wali. No, it has to be somebody who's reached puberty. And the son, let's say that the woman has a son, all right, her son's a Muslim, her father's a Muslim. Her son's, let's say, 20 years old. The woman, let's say she's 40, 38, 40, whatever. Her father's still alive. Who has more right to be her wali, her son or her father? Her father. And why? Because not just because he's the father, but we have to always look at, in Islam, we look at also the maslahah. Could the son be a wali for her? Yes. In the absence of other people, that will be more of a maslahah. Her father raised her. Her father knows what's good for her. And he knows men. The son's 20 years old. He doesn't really have a lot of experience in the dunya. And if he's never been married himself, then he doesn't know. So why would you pick him over the father? And you can't just choose who you want your wali to be. So that's another issue that we're going to get to in a second. All right, so al-balugh, they have to reach the age of puberty. Ittifaq ad-din. That means that the girl getting married and her wali have to have the same religion. If she's a Christian, her wali has to be Christian. If she's a Christian and her wali is a Jew, and you get married to her, the marriage is invalid. If she's a Muslim, if she's a Christian, and the wali, like let's say her brother or her father's a Muslim, and he wants to marry her off to a Muslim, but she's a Christian, so the father, who's a Muslim, acts as her wali to marry her off to a Muslim, even though she's still a Christian. The marriage is invalid. All right, is invalid. She has to have the person of the same religion. Now, there's a difference of opinion, and this goes back to the statement of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, where He said what? Al-mu'minuna wal-mu'minati wal-mu'minatu ba'duhum awliya'u ba'd. All right, ba'duhum awliya'u ba'd. So that means that they're awliya, they're only wali for each other. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also said about the kuffar, what? وَالَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا بَعْضُهُمْ awliya'u ba'd. So here some of the ulama from before, they would say al-kufr, what? Millatun wahida. All right, they would say, because here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said alladhina kafaru. So He did not specify min ahl al-kitab or min al-yahud or min al-nasara. He said alladhina kafaru ba'duhum awliya'u ba'd. But that's not the correct thing, because why? We know from the hadith where the Prophet ﷺ said, افترقت اليهود على 71 فرقة كلها في النار إلى واحدة وافترقت النصارى على 72 فرقة كلها في النار إلا واحدة وستفترق هذه الأمة على 73 فرقة كلها في النار إلا واحدة فقال من هم يا رسول الله قال هم ما أنا عليه وأصحابي. So this hadith where the Prophet ﷺ mentioned that the Jews broke up into 71 different groups and the Christians broke up into 72 different groups, and then this ummah is going to break up into 73 different groups, all of them in the fire except for one. So this hadith is a Sunan Abi Dawood. So the point is that he specified that they're different. So the kuffar are not one. So a Christian, if she's a Christian, she has to have a wali. As a Christian, a Muslim cannot be the wali for her, even if she's marrying a Muslim. If a Muslim acts as her wali, the marriage is invalid. It's invalid, huh?
So how about a Christian
What are you talking about uptight about his religion?
Like him being a Christian, right? But his daughter wanted to be a Muslim, but he got. I mean, I think. Hold on, it's kind of quick. But then he got like a vendetta or something against.
What is she?
So basically you saying that the father's not Muslim and he don't want his daughter to marry a Muslim. Is that what you're
But
saying?
what is she?
She want to be a Muslim.
Or is she a Muslim or not?
Yeah.
All right, well, if she becomes a Muslim, it doesn't matter what her father says because he can't be the wali for her anyways.
So you say like just.
If she's a Muslim, her wali has to be Muslim.
What if she a Christian? She gotta be Christian.
It got to be Christian. But if she becomes Muslima, then no, it doesn't matter what her father says.
What if she's Christian during the marriage and then later she wants to?
Well, it doesn't matter. You're married. You're done. Yeah. All right. The issue is when you have two people who are Christian and then one becomes Muslim. And that person who becomes Muslim, they have a choice now. Because their marriage was under what the kuffar consider marriage. So now you as a Muslim, you have a choice where you can like stay with the person and be patient and see if they're going to enter into Islam, or you can just abrogate the marriage and say, "Khalas, I'm out. It's done."
What if they both?
Yeah, no, man. Yeah.
What if they both become Muslims?
Then they stay on the aqd al-awwal. They remain on the aqd al-awwal. So, number 6. Now this is of course like, all right, 1 through 5. I'm with Ibn Qudamah 100%, 100%, because he got adillah for all 5 of these. Number 6, al-adala. All right, so he said, فلا يلي الفاسق نكاح قريبته. And هذا فيه نظر. All right, if the father's a Muslim, but he's a fasiq, that means that he does some things, he falls into like muharramat, and he does them openly, and but he's still a Muslim. That does not take him out of being the mahram, because we still look at the maslahah of the girl. Now it's different now if the father's like a liquor store owner, and he wants his daughter to marry a guy that is also the son of a liquor store owner. In that case, then that's a whole other issue. Now at this point, it's like, okay, you got to chill out, But he's still, you can't take the walaya from him. I think they might have a question back there. I don't know, because they keep popping out. But you can't take the walaya from him just because of the fisq, except with evidence. And
وإيش عن العم والابن العم؟
إيش؟
إيش عن العم وابن العم؟ إذا هم يسألون كثير.
About what?
العم يعني إيش هي؟
We're going to get to that in a minute. Everybody's getting to. إن الإنسان خلق حلوعا والله.
It's 9:43.
Yeah,
It's 9:43.
Yeah, let's finish this up. All right, number 7, التعصيب. أي أو ما يقوم مقامه. And no, this is also ضعيف. It means that it has to be from the asaba, from the people that will directly inherit from the person. And that's not, no. Because, for example, that would take out people from the mother's family. Like, for example, the mother's brother, the mother's father, people like that will be taken out because they can only inherit if in the absence of other people. So, no. All right, in this case, that's not correct. If that's what's available, he's still a mahram for her. So if her father's dead, her father's dead, her father's father's dead, and she doesn't have any brothers, and the only person that she has is a male relative, is her mother's father, then we're going to say, no, you can't use your mother's father or your mother's brother, or you have another brother from your mother who has a son, and he's like 25 years old, and he's the only male relative that can act as a mahram for you, that you can't use him. No, that's not. I don't agree with him on that either. All right, and Adam man huwa awla minhu, and at this one, yes. So condition number 8, yes, and it means that you can't choose a person when another person is more deserving of being the wali. Like, for example, the father's alive, the father has an aql, the father is a Muslim, she's a Muslimah, and then all the conditions are met for him being the wali, but you say, nope, I'm going to use her brother. I'm going to go to her brother. No, you can't do that. Adam man huwa awla minhu. That's a condition, that there can't be anybody. So if you go to her brother, that means the brother is the only person there. Her father's not alive, or he's not a Muslim, or the like. Let's say that she comes from a Christian family, and the only person in her family that became Muslim is her brother. Yes. So who becomes the wali for her? The brother, the Muslim. That's it. Nobody else in her family can become the wali. He's the only one. If the only person in her family that became Muslim is her nephew, and he's a male, obviously he's a male because he's her nephew, and he's reached the age of puberty, can he act as her wali? Yeah, because he's Muslim, he reached the age of puberty, he has an aql, all the conditions are met, and he's the only male relative. But now you can't go to the nephew or the brother in the presence of the father, the grandfather, or these other individuals. Or you can't go to, like, for example, like the brother that you have from your mother, and leave off the brother that you have from your father and your mother, the shaqiq. Because the shaqiq is awla than who? Than the brother from your mother, where your mother might have had, from a different marriage, had a son, and that's your brother, but it's half brother. But then you have a brother from your father and your mother, and he's present, and the brother and the mother and the mother's son, which is also your half brother, is also present. Who do you go to? In the absence of anybody else, you go to the shaqiq. Yeah. You go to the brother of your mother and your father. And then if he's not absent or he's not Muslim, then you go to the half brother. Yes. All right, so those are the conditions for the wali. All right, those are the conditions of.
So half brothers, like, what's the definition of half brothers? Like, if they're half brothers, they're still brothers.
No, because you can have like your father can have a son from another woman who's not your mother. Or your mother could have a son from a different marriage who's not your father.
So would that still be like,
He's still your brother, but he's not your full brother. Your full brother is from your same father and your same mother. That's a full brother. So he has more right to be the wali.
If it's not half brother, half blood.
He's just a brother from another mother, man.
All right.
All right, any questions about this? What? All right, as far as who can be the wali, all right, this is according to Ibn Qudama. All right, I don't have a lot of books with me right now, so the first thing I took out Al-Mughni, and this actually came out of Al-Kafi. So anybody that wants to go back and check the conditions of the wali, go back to Al-Kafi, Ibn Qudama. This, what I'm about to read now, came out of Al-Mughni. Al-Mughni by Ibn Qudama. So he said, Thumma abuhu. Thumma abuha. When ala, not abuhu, abuha. Thumma, I wrote it abuhu, but it's abuha. Thumma abuha when ala. When ala, so the first person that's deserving of being the wali for her, the father. When ala, what does that mean? The father, the grandfather, the great-grandfather, the great-great-grandfather, the great-great-great, it doesn't matter how many levels you have to go up, because anybody that, that's ala. In safal, it means you go down. The son, the grandson, the great-grandson, the great-great-grandson, like that. So, thumma ibnaha. No, thumma ibnaha wa ibnahu when safal. All right. If her father, grandfather, none of them were available, and then she has a son who's reached all the conditions of being a wali, then he can act on her behalf. All right. ثُمَّ أَخُوهَا لِإِبْنِهَا وَأُمِّهَا. All right, so her brother from her mother, or from what? لِأَبِيهَا. Sorry, أَخُوهَا لِأَبِيهَا وَأُمِّهَا. وَالْأَخ, and so this is her brother from her father and her mother. وَالْأَخْ لِلْأَبْ مِثْلُهُ. And then if she has another brother, but it's only from the father, but a different mother, and he said mithluhu, and also the same. All right, thumma awladahum. So she has a brother from the mother and the father, the shaqiq, right? So what if they have children? What if he's not present? He's old. Maybe he's or he's dead, or he's crazy, but he has a son, which will be her nephew. Then he can act on the behalf of his father in his absence. And if he's not present, or maybe he's not Muslim or whatever, then the son of the son, and when safal, all right, that they can act. Or if the there's no son of the nephew from the brother of the father and the mother, then she could take the brother who's only from the father, and if that's not present, then you can take from the brother from the mother, not according to Ibn Qudam, of course. But all right, ثُمَّ أَوْلَادَهُمْ وَإِنْ all right, and then it keeps going down and down and down, and then there's no males left, and there's no males in the family. What's left? No, I mean it's the sultan. Whoever has the sultan of that place, then the sultan is the wali liman la wali lahu. That's it. Khalas. So if she doesn't have the wali, then it goes into the hands of the sultan. So that answers the question if she doesn't have any Muslims in her family and she's a Muslimah. So no male Muslims. Maybe she has Muslim. Maybe her mother's a Muslimah, but her mother can't be her wali. But she has no male guardians in her family that are Muslim, then she goes to the sultan, whoever the sultan is of that area. Now, anybody of authority. So in the Muslim countries, it will be a judge. And in America, it would be whoever that authority is. Whoever you would go to ask those types of questions, that's who you would go to ask to be the wali. But you cannot go to just a regular person. You know, just a regular dude, just take some dude out the masjid. Hey, Abdul Malik, you want to be the wali for my marriage? No, it doesn't work like that. It's not permissible. It has to be the sultan. The sultan is the wali for the woman who has no wali. It's not just some random dude off the streets. So people need to get that straight because, wallahi, it's like these are, and we're going to continue this, inshallah. We're not done with this issue.
Yeah, I think it's a very, extensive issue.
Yeah. And so, and plus with all the questions and
But
everything.
it's a good issue. It's a good,
Anything?
it's a good topic.
Yeah, Jama'ah, we got to wrap this up because it is late here in Fresno. It's almost 10 o'clock at night. And people want to get home. So, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Blame it on Abdul Malik.
You gonna let him do that? Sorry, it's the game.
Allahu Akbar, Allah.